Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Happy Hour. Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to Happy Hour. Today we've got another whiskey review. Wow, go figure. Today, actually, going back to Scotland, and I've got kind of an interesting bottle, actually, maybe a distillery that's not so well known. This is Glen Scotia. This is the Glen Scotia 18-year-old. So this was it's the first bottle of Glen Scotia that I bought and decided to jump right in. And I passed the 12-year-old, and I think there's a 15-year-old and a couple of other, I think a blended non-age statement or something like that. But anyways, I got the 18-year-old. And again, I got the 18-year-old because of my local liquor store. It was on end of bin sale. So I think normally this is about $110, I believe, and I got it for $80. So I figured an 18-year-old Scotch for $80 is, I think, a pretty reasonable price. So about Glen Scotia. And Glen Scotia is a Campbelltown distillery. There's really only, I think there's 3 now. I could be wrong. There's, things are constantly changing in the Scotch world, but the big Campbelltown distillery obviously being Springbank. Kind of a very heralded, is that a word? Yeah, heralded distillery, Scotch distillery. I love it. I still have a bit of a 12-year-old from about 8 or 9 years ago, believe it or not, still that I've been saving to add to my infinity bottle. And relatively recently, I bought the 13-year-old. It's a green label 13-year-old. It's like an organic version. But yeah, Campbelltown, Glen Scotia, Kilkerran, I think relatively recently again opened up. Those are the big 3 names that I can think of. Obviously, Springbank being number 1, and then Glen Scotia and Kilkerran. So yeah, 18-year-old, an 18-year-old Campbelltown for $80. I thought, hey, what the hell? Let's give it a whirl. How bad can it be? And it's actually not bad. It's really quite good. So on that note, let's jump in and give it a swirl. As you can see, again, I've gone through quite a bit of it. So I think I haven't had any today. So this is my first time, probably in a couple of weeks I've tried it. So I think it's still relatively fresh on my mind, but we will find out. So on the nose. Yep. So right away, I get that classic Campbelltown, that salinity, right? I think Springbank is really known for that very unique, kind of a real uniqueness about Campbelltown malts. And this does have a little bit of it, not quite as much as the Springbanks from what I recall, but there's that saltiness. I get a caramel being 18 years old. So I should probably go back. This is, I believe, matured in American oak and finished in Oloroso sherry casks. So kind of a sherry finished whiskey, like a lot of other, Highlands and Speyside whiskeys. But yeah, I get incredible saltiness. I get a salted caramel. I think because of its age, I'm getting some of that, some of the more kind of toffee notes, some of the barrel notes, spiciness that comes through. But because of that salinity saltiness, I really get kind of a salted caramel on the nose. Now there is a bit of apple, some livelier fruits as well. Apple and a little bit of citrus. Yeah, wow, this actually smells even better again than I remember it. It's like salty caramel with kind of an apple, a little bit of citrus, and kind of maybe like a bit of a dried fruit, maybe a plum or a fig. It's really nice. It's really good. All right, let's give it a taste. Yeah, tastes great. You know what's interesting though? This time and the last time, I'm getting a little bit of the cork in the flavor and the smell, which is kind of odd. And I'm not really used to corked. Wine I think is more, the term, or maybe you've heard the term. I've heard the term, I think, where it's been corked, meaning somehow there's a cork flavor. I think that gets into it. It's gone bad. There's a leak or something. I really am getting a little bit of the cork in the smell and the flavor. That could be my brain kind of thinking of a wine, like kind of a grape, because I do get kind of a dark grapey winey flavor too. But again, I don't know if it's actually the cork smell taste that I'm getting, or if it's reminding me of a wine note. But anyways, it's not bad. It's not off-putting. It's just kind of interesting. It's really good. It's really fairly. I think it's fairly complex. It's an 18-year-old whiskey. You'd hope it would be. I get a lot of the same notes on the taste that I did on the nose. Get a huge salted caramel. Get a little bit of a maybe not stewed fruits, but kind of the dried fruits. Like again, I think of like figs. But there is a bit of an apple and a little bit of citrus, a little bit of lemon and lime, and a little bit of apple note, but a lot of spice on the end. Spicy, probably coming from the Orloso casks. It's really nice. And then the salinity, the classic kind of saltiness, brininess. It's a really interesting whiskey. I'm really glad I grabbed it. And to be honest with you, the only reason I grabbed it was, well, it was Campbelltown, which great, right? There's only that many of them. And obviously Springbank, I like Springbank a lot. I'd never had a Glen Scotia, and it was on sale. It was like $30 off. So I'm happy I bought it. It might be kind of hard to find. I don't know how regular or how available it is out there, but probably should have told you too. This is 46%. It doesn't say that it's not chill filtered. No, it doesn't say, but we'll assume it's chill filtered. But it's 40 bottled at 46%, which is pretty good. So as far as rating it, I really enjoy it. Price is going to be a little bit subjective. At $110, that would be kind of pushing it for me, I think, a little bit. At $80, I think it's a pretty reasonable price. I think I rate this a 7.5 out of 10. I think bearing kind of both of those price points, depending on what you could get it for. If you could get it for 80, I think it would be worth picking up. Again, if you like that kind of Campbelltown salinity. And I don't want to say it's 100% like Springbank, but there's a lot of those notes. If you like those types of flavors and aromas, then I think this is certainly worth giving it a try. I don't know that it's quite as complex as I remember Springbank 12-year-old even being. But for a decent price for an 18-year-old Scotch from Campbelltown, finished in sherry cask, if you like finished in sherry cask whiskeys, I think it's a pretty decent buy. So yeah, I'd give it 7.5 out of 10. And again, I don't know how easy it is to find, but if you can find it and if you like those types of flavors, then I would say give it a try and pick it up. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this guy. And thanks for watching Happy Hour. Got some more videos coming up. Maybe I'm going to do another one tomorrow. Maybe I'll do Springbank tomorrow. Well, we'll see. Cheers. Have a great weekend. See ya. Bye.